Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited for this reading vlog because we are going to be reading one of my most anticipated books of 2026, and that is The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. I am so excited for this book. I am always excited for an Abby Jimenez book, and this one is no different. I couldn't even wait for filming, and I already started reading this book because that was how excited I am for it. So I am already 200 pages in, and when I tell you that I love this book, I truly mean it. Abby Jimenez is just one of those authors that just gets you every time with the dialogue and how real it feels. It really just feels like real people and like you're living in their life. And if you don't know, a lot of Abby Jimenez books are set in Minnesota because I believe that she lives in Minnesota and has like her cupcake business, Nadia Cakes, in Minnesota. And I am from Minnesota. I live in Minnesota, so it's really, really great to have like a local book. And I love this book so much. Right away when I started reading, I knew that I would want to tab some quotes, so I already have some tabs going. I'll show you the color spread that I have because I absolutely love it. I have this really good purple setup going, and I feel like it just matches the vibe so well. And yeah, I'm absolutely loving it right now. I just cannot recommend her books enough if you haven't read them. She has so many amazing romance novels, and just calling it a romance novel I feel like doesn't even do it justice because it is so much more than that. It is so much, it's just like general fiction with the emotional depth and then just with the romance just kind of mixed in with that. So the setting of this book follows main character Larissa, who had a concert a few months ago. Basically had two guys that she could choose from to give her a ride home, and she ends up going home with Mike, who is like a personal trainer and just like a fun, kind of an energetic guy, and she goes home with him and then he becomes her boyfriend. But the other guy that she could have let give her a ride home is Chris, who is best friends with Mike, and he is really like the perfect match for her. He is a pharmacist and he is just really, really kind and thoughtful and caring. And the two of them, Chris and Larissa, actually end up co-parenting a Yorkie dog together, which is really, really cute, and I feel like such a fun story. But they become really good friends and just lead to this kind of awkward situation where Chris and Mike are best friends, Larissa's dating Mike, but Chris and Larissa have this kind of friendship, this relationship, this chemistry, and that's really where I'm at in the book as well. And none of that is a spoiler, that's all on the inside cover of it, but yeah, really, really enjoying. And for Larissa, she is really going through some hard times in her life. She has to work multiple jobs, she's trying to make ends meet, and really what's really sticking out to me so far is just how Chris treats her and how he is just so thoughtful and always just so caring towards Larissa, and honestly just wants her life to be as easy as possible in like the sweetest way. And I love it so much. I really love it so much, and I do want to point out some quotes that I have tabbed so far just because there are a few of them, and Abby Jimenez just has the way with words. Like, I don't know how she always says like the perfect sentence just to summarize a moment so well, but one thing that I have so far is a quote, and this is in Larissa's point of view, because I should mention this is dual point of view. It has Larissa and Chris. In Larissa's point of view, she said, "There was something calming about Chris. It took so little energy to hang out with him. We didn't have to force conversation. We could talk about books or woofering, or we could walk in total silence, and I didn't feel like I had to fill it, or he did." Like that, I feel like just perfectly describes how I view love, where it's just like the comfortable silence. You don't always need to be talking. You don't always need to be having like a fun moment together. You can just enjoy each other's company and just let it be. Another quote that I liked that Larissa also said was that, "I ask myself if I'm doing something because it's what I'm used to, or if I'm doing it because it's objectively the best thing to do." And this one really stuck out to me because I am such a creature of habit and just going with the comfortable thing and just trying to make my life as simple and calm as possible. And this stuck out as something that I could look at moving forward. Like, if I make a decision, even a simple decision, am I just doing this because it's what I'm used to and what's like easiest right now, or is this truly the best thing for me? And it's so fun and exciting to read her books because there are always quotes like that that just make you think about life and think about I guess, how your life is set up or how your relationship is, and it just really puts things in perspective, and I just love that so much. I will say in this book there is also some talk about grief and loss, and one of the quotes that I liked about that was, life buries us. We get heavier and heavier as time goes on, and we labor under the layers we've collected. Sometimes the layers make us who we are, and sometimes they make us someone else entirely. And I feel like that was a really, really unique way to just talk about life and change, and just how, yeah, we keep getting more layers to us, and we keep getting different sides of us, and how that can just kind of further establish who we are. Maybe it can make us into a different person. And I don't know, maybe it's just now that I'm like out of college, out of school, out of that mindset, and in like the real world, but I just really, really identified with that. Another one I thought was funny was one of Chris's other friends besides Mike said to him, dude's hoping love's gonna come find him in his living room. And I just feel like I relate to that so much, and I feel like so many people who are like readers and just introverts can relate to that, where it's like, I always expected like someone's just gonna magically knock on my door and it's gonna be my soulmate, which is so funny to think about because that's not gonna happen. Like, you have to put yourself out there, but that one just made me smile of how like, it's just very relatable. I would say those are the quotes I can share right now because I'm trying to not give too many spoilers away in case you're still reading this or maybe you haven't read it yet. But I am so excited to read more of this today and maybe even finish it today. I feel like I could blow through this book in like one more sitting because it is just like so fast paced, and I'm just so like anxious to find out what happens with Larissa and Chris and how Mike's gonna feel about everything, and just a lot of tension right now, and it's really exciting. And I'm also like torn between like supporting Larissa and Chris and being like, go for each other, go date each other, do all this, but then also like I never want to support characters cheating, even emotional cheating. Like, I think that's also terrible, and so it's like, I don't know where I stand on it right now, because part of me is like, you two belong together, but then another part's like, Larissa, you have a boyfriend, like you need to end things with him or stop kind of developing this like relationship, romantic thing with Chris. It's very muddy waters right now, so I think I'm gonna read more of this and then I will update all of you later. Maybe even after I finish it, who knows at this rate. I have a hard time putting this book down, which is a very, very common thing with Abby Jimenez books that I have found over the years. Hello, well I am back on the floor because I finished reading The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. I just binged the last like half of this book, and I have to say this might be my new favorite Abby Jimenez book, which is so crazy to say because she has so many books. I think this is her 8th book if I read that correctly in the author's note, and this might be my favorite out of all of them. I loved this book so much. I love everything about Larissa and Chris. I felt like they were just such real characters, and I loved that they were friends first. I will say it is definitely a messier book. Like I mentioned before, how Larissa was dating Mike, who's Chris's best friend, but I don't want to support the emotional cheating, but I don't necessarily believe it was emotional cheating. But definitely, before you read that, if you don't like any of those plot lines, this book might not be for you. But I'm giving this 5 stars because I loved it so much, and I loved how Larissa and Chris were just there for each other through the entire book, and how they just had one of those connections that just feels like it's just like one of a kind soulmate connections, and it was just really believable in this book. I feel like sometimes romance books where it's like, oh, they're my soulmate, it doesn't really feel like that. Like they have so much conflict that it's like, how can you really be soulmates? But this one did feel like that for me, and I loved it so much. I have a lot of tabs on there, if you can see, like so many amazing quotes in here. I'm trying to find any to share, but I want to share the entire book, honestly, because it was just so good. I mean, one is here, it's the way it's supposed to be with people you love. The unrelenting urge to care for them. The pain and longing when you can't. I love that she nested in my home, sprinkled colorful little things all over the house the way she did at the apartment with Nancy, made it her own. I could feel her in every room but mine, and it made me never want to go to bed. She burned candles that smelled like cookies and organized the library in her room and put Mom's paper quilling in the middle of the shelf. Mom would have loved it to be remembered, nestle in with all those books in the bedroom where she always stayed when she came to visit. Larissa brightened my life. I was beginning to forget what it was like before she was here. I didn't want to remember. Which, like, I already want to reread this book because the quotes were so good. Oh. Definitely like an emotional roller coaster of just like what's going to happen with Larissa and Chris and the whole friend group, because it's a very, very messy situation. Yeah, it was incredible. I love Abby Jimenez so much. Her writing is just, it's always good. It's always amazing. She just creates such like complex and compelling characters, and I just feel like not a lot of authors are on the same level with that. So this is a 5-star for me. This is one of my favorite books I've read so far in 2026, if not my favorite book so far of the year. I mean, just incredible. And the cover is amazing. Like, look at this cover. Look at it. It is incredible. It's so pretty. I feel like her books just keep getting prettier and prettier. Like, I have all of her books right over here. And I'm thinking the only one that might be on the same level is Just for the Summer, which is probably my second favorite book by her, which is also like gorgeous. If you haven't already, this is your sign that you need to pick up Abby Jimenez's new book, The Night We Met. It is part of the Say You'll Remember Me interconnected, I'm guessing it's going to be a series or maybe just duology. The first book is Say You'll Remember Me, which came out last year. And yeah, now we have The Night We Met. I cannot say enough great things about this book. I could probably talk for hours and hours on end just about the characters and the development and how amazing their connection was. So yeah, I 10 out of 10 recommend that you go read this book. I am sure that you will enjoy it. And please, if you have read it or whenever you read it, comment below what your thoughts are, because I would love to talk about it with people because it was just so incredible. Thank you all for watching this video. I hope that you enjoyed my review of The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez, and don't forget to like this video and then subscribe to my channel for more book videos. See you in the next one.